Hey everyone, my name is Alyssa Daniels. I've been a coach for just over a year now. I joined in April of 2016. I was overweight. I had gained about 25 pounds. I had a lot of digestive issues as a result from an autoimmune disorder called celiac disease. And it was something that was diagnosed about 6 or 7 years ago. So it was something I had been living with for a while at that point. I also suffered a lot from anxiety and depression throughout my whole life, and it went through periods where it got better and it got worse, but it's always been something I suffered with. I had a really unhealthy relationship with food because of the celiac disease and because of the anxiety depression. I would stress eat a lot, I would emotionally eat a lot. With the celiac disease, it was a total lifestyle change. And I went from being 19, 20 years old, being able to eat whatever I want, hang out with my friends, have this whole social aspect of it, to having my life turned upside down and having to follow a medically required, super strict gluten-free diet. And this was at a time where you couldn't go to the grocery store and get gluten-free bread or gluten-free pastas or gluten-free snacks or anything like that. It just didn't exist yet. Nobody had really known about it. And on top of that, I was not the kind of girl who liked to work out on a regular basis. In fact, I was the girl who found every excuse to skip gym class in school. Yep, guilty. That was me. I was at a point where I had reached like a new heavy. I was the heaviest I've ever been. And I'm little. I'm 5'2". So for me to gain 25 pounds, that was a lot on my small frame. So what brought me into the Beachbody world was I just couldn't take it anymore. Something had to give. I just had to try something different. I couldn't keep living like that. In the first 3 months of my journey, I was able to lose and keep off 20 pounds. And for my small frame, like I said, I'm only 5'2". That's a huge deal, right? That's not just like, oh, I dropped a couple of pounds today, but at 5'2" to lose 20 pounds, that was a big deal for me. More than that, though, I was able to learn how to like what I saw in the mirror again. I was able to start to heal my body and feel good truly from the inside out. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to talk to you guys about Shakeology today, because Shakeology was a true game changer for me, especially coming from somebody with every digestive issue known to man. That's something that comes along with the celiac disease. And on top of it, I suffered from IBS and all sorts of other stuff. So I know that we're going to go into depth a little bit about the challenge groups with you guys, but just to give you a little bit brief overview now that you know a little bit about me, how these groups have changed my life personally, the fitness aspect of it, and all the different Beachbody programs and Beachbody on demand and being able to stream wherever I am. That has given me the ability to be stronger physically. And being stronger physically has given me the ability to be stronger mentally and emotionally, which for me translated into mental health in a positive way. And so it changed my life in that aspect. And the workouts also became a huge stress relief for me. So in dealing with my anxiety and my depression, I finally had this like healthy outlet that wasn't binge eating gluten-free chocolate cake at 2 a.m. or binge eating Cheetos because I had a bad day, and that was how I dealt with it. I didn't know any other way. This was all so new to me. We forget that sometimes that we all start somewhere. This was all very new to each one of us coaches at some point. So we know how scary it is in the beginning. We've all been there, and it's something that we've all had to start from square one at some point. So the workouts were a huge help in that for me. And then Shakeology and the clean eating part of this helped me clear up all of my outstanding digestive issues, bloating, cramping, being irregular. And let me tell you, when a girl's regular, it feels good. And on top of it all, Shakeology has given me such a super dense dose of nutrition every single day that I went to the doctor. It was about 4 or 5 months into drinking Shakeology. I've been drinking Shakeology for 14 months straight now. So this was at the beginning, 3 or 4 months, I would say. I went to the doctor for the first time in literally 6.5 years since I was diagnosed with the celiac disease. I had a clean blood panel. It was just a routine blood count, but I would always come back deficient in this, deficient or that. And as a side effect of the celiac disease, my body doesn't absorb nutrition the same way other bodies do. And it's really hard for my body to get proper nutrition through what I eat, no matter how clean I eat. So that was a humongous deal for me. Because of Shakeology, for the first time in my adult life, I had a normal blood panel come back. That's crazy. So that was a really big deal to me. And lastly, the groups, the accountability, the support, the motivation, the amazing, incredible women in these groups, that's what really kept me going and still keeps me going through all of this. So it motivates me to get up on the hard days, to make smart and healthy choices. It really, really pushes me to get outside of my comfort zone. And I've made the most incredible friends in the process of it. So it's just been like, that's what ties it all together for me, is having these groups as kind of a resource and an outlet and a way to celebrate as you go and to kind of pick you up on the hard days. Okay, onto Shakeology. And I could talk to forever about Shakeology. There's so many good things about it. So we'll just get started on that. Shakeology is such a big deal because it's not your typical protein drink, right? We hear all the time, well, I hear all the time people ask me, what's the difference between Shakeology and any other protein shake out on the market? Well, Shakeology is not a protein shake. It's like asking me to compare apples and oranges, right? So yes, Shakeology has protein in it, but it's so much more than that. It's a superfood nutrition shake. Its purpose is to meet you where your clean eating diet leaves you off, and it meets you on a cellular level. There are 70 macro and micronutrients in Shakeology, and they're all whole food ingredients. Excuse me, whole food ingredients. Shakeology has antioxidants, phytonutrients, adaptogens, and adaptogens are really good at managing stress levels. And as you increase your workouts, your body's going to feel more stressed. So that's where that comes into play. It has all of the vitamins and minerals and everything else amazing in there, jam packed in, and it essentially makes up for the nutrient deficiency that you have. And no matter how clean each one of us eats, we all experience some kind of nutrient deficiency. Our foods are just, they're so loaded with so much nasty stuff that we're not getting as much nutrition as we think we are. There's a really big common misconception that you're only unhealthy if you're overweight, and that's not true at all. There's a lot of there's a lot of fit, and there's a lot of thin, so I guess you could say thin. There's a lot of fit or thin people who are also unhealthy. And it's because, like I said, our foods are so over processed and they're loaded with all sorts of chemicals and who knows what else. And even eating organic nowadays isn't necessarily foolproof. We're not a protein deficient society, we are a nutrient deficient society. And that's where Shakeology comes into play. You might not even realize how nutrient deficient you are, but if you feel low on energy, if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're not digesting your food well, those are all signs that your body is missing something, that you are nutrient deficient. And more often than not, that's where most of us find ourselves, unfortunately. And you might not even realize that you're like that. You might not even realize that maybe you really do feel like crap because you're so used to feeling that way. But when you're drinking Shakeology and your body is getting the nutrients it needs down to the cellular level, mind you, it's amazing how good you can feel. It's like taking a gentle scrub brush on your insides and releasing all of the toxins. And it even, okay, this is part is really cool. It even helps to redo your taste buds. So it helps them come back to what they should be, because as we're eating all these processed and chemical laden foods, it kind of reformats our taste buds. And so we start to have a taste for other things. That's why as we get older, people say, oh, your taste buds change. It's the same concept. This brings them back to what they're supposed to be at in their healthiest form. Our creators they go overseas to pick out and source the top of the line ingredients to see exactly where they're coming from. They look at how they're handled, how they're packed, how they're processed, exactly who's working with them, what kind of land they're coming from. Like, guys, when I tell you Shakeology is the real deal, I'm not kidding. Beachbody goes to extreme lengths to make sure that the nutrition we're putting in our bodies, the ingredients in Shakeology, they are top of the line and they are as clean as possible and they are as nutrient dense as possible, most importantly. So it's the real deal. Shakeology gives you energy, it improves your mood, It detoxifies your body, it boosts your immunity, and for me, that was a big one because with celiac disease, that's an autoimmune condition. So I was always sick, and I know even people without autoimmune conditions, they tend to be sick a lot. So having an immunity boost helps you not be sick all the time, right? And it helps you beat cravings and keeps you satisfied longer. And if you think about it, when your body craves something, it means that it's missing something. So if your body isn't missing anything, you're not going to crave anything. Makes sense, right? So that's really cool too. It really gives you a total solution for complete nutrition inside and out. And before I started drinking Shakeology, like I would have days where I thought I felt good and I thought I felt better than others days. So I was like, okay, this is what it means to feel good. I started drinking Shakeology and my idea of feeling good totally changed. I didn't even know it was possible to feel this good, you guys. I really didn't. And my body can feel when I miss a day of Shakeology. That's how much nutrition is in it. Our body craves that nutrition. It needs that nutrition. And we owe it to ourselves, right? We owe it to ourselves to be the healthiest versions of ourselves because we're worth it, first of all, but also because we have family and friends and loved ones. And I don't know about you, but I sure as heck want to be around for a long time to spend as much time as possible with all the people who are close to me. And it's tough because unfortunately, we live in a world where the food industry is a business. And it's a business to make money. It's not a business to keep you healthy. There is all sort of political things in the food industry. So what we're being taught is might not be the healthiest. The food that our kids are getting might not be the healthiest, even in schools, which is really sad. It's our job to educate ourselves and to learn as much as we can and to put good products into our body. And I truly, truly believe that your dollar is your vote in that, the way this society is run. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to put my dollar somewhere where I know I'm going to see health and longevity for me and my family, right? Your vote is your dollar is your vote, as I say it backwards. Your dollar is your vote. So it's up to you. You really deserve to be healthy and happy. And that's something that we preach on and on and on again to you guys. And this is just the beginning of it. Shakeology will transform your body, it will transform your health. You can always tell, and I always say this to my team members and the girls in my challenge group, you can tell when someone's drinking Shakeology. Their skin glows, their hair looks healthy, like my nails grow super fast, and it's because my body is so healthy from the inside out that it's just like, all right, girl, we got you. Whatever you want to do, let's make it happen because we're fueled up and ready to go. So I'm really excited that you guys are interested in taking the first step to change your life, and you've got some really great things coming from the other coaches in this group as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please reach out and let us know if you have any questions. Have a good night, y'all.